Hey guys, this is going to be a little bit of a bigger coaching session, and we will talk about everything like strategy, tactics, matchup knowledge, pointing at flaws, yada yada, because this will probably be the last coaching session I will do until the next mini set releases, for this very simple reason that I would have to talk about a lot of stuff again when the mini set releases if I would do videos about it now. So let's wait for the mini set. Then we have 2 months time before we get new cards, and that will be enough to complete the whole coaching sessions as a whole. But now let's take a look at some gameplay footage and talk about everything that we see and what we do. I have now fixed my my screen so you can actually see my hand, and we will gonna do a deep dive into thought process, into why we play the cards that we play, what the reasoning behind everything. So there's gonna be everything here: matchup knowledge, strategy and tactic, and everything, pointing at flaws even that the game has. So let's roll the clip and take a look at it. So again, like right now, we go first, that's really bad. And we see our opponent plays a grass type deck. What does that tell us? And how we're gonna adapt to this? What we're gonna have to do? How does this knowledge of us going first and facing a grass deck will impact our gameplay? First of all, you have to have the knowledge that this is gonna be Executor Zalabi. There's no way around it. That's the grass type deck, and no other deck is close to be viable. So just in case it wouldn't be an Executor Zalabi deck, it would be just a completely 100% free win for us and no matchup, So this is gonna be Executor Zalabi. That's what we know. So now let's take a look at our hand, right? You will see our hand right here. You can already see it, and we totally bricked. As we never want to start with Darkrai. That's like one of the worst starts you can have. But since we have that leaf, it is not too much of a big deal, because as soon as we would draw into a proper basic that we would want to start with and protect our Darkrai, right, we can switch that for free. So while this is a very, very, very bad starting hand, it's actually not the end of the world. But let's roll the clip, and there will immediately be new information coming to light that is also very, very important. As you will see right here, he starts with this execute, and he's going second. So what that combination of information means to us is the following. First of all, Darkrai has a weakness to grass, and this execute does 20 damage. So he would deal 40 damage on the first turn to us, which is absolutely not a big deal. The weakness here, facing this execute, does not matter at all, This is just a far-fetched with 10 less HP. So that is absolutely no issue here whatsoever. What makes this an issue though is that this one deals 40 damage on turn 1 without being able to do anything about it, And if he would be able to evolve into Executor on his next turn, on his second turn, then flip heads, we would die. This Executor deals 40 damage because of our weakness, and the Executor EX would deal 80 damage plus weakness is 100. Combine these two numbers and we die. This is why this situation right here could become an issue, as he, as I just said, would have that Executor EX right away. So we're gonna really watch out and see that we retreat that Darkrai if we can. Let's continue watching. Yeah, we used Professor Oak, we draw the Pokeball, we use the Pokeball, now we have a Magnemite. And we already have that, yeah, we have two Magnezone. Oh no, we have Magneton and Magnezone. So that's why we immediately play it. Otherwise, if we would not have Magneton on our hand, we would not play this Magnemite, you know? Because if we wouldn't have that Magneton, there's no reason to put anything on your bench, right? Why would you ever do that? Now, he would be able to play Sabrina, which in this specific case right here, that doesn't matter, you know. We don't care if we have Darkrai or Magnemite in the active here. But yeah, we still wouldn't bench it. We still wouldn't bench that Magnemite no matter what. Because why? It wouldn't make any sense, you know. What is the reason to bench that Magnemite? There's no reason here. And that's why we wouldn't do it. But since we now bench that Magnemite and we have that Magneton in our hand, we can evolve it right away on our next turn. And that's why we do it. So keep in mind, the emphasis here is on only ever play a card if you have a plan behind it, if there's thought behind it, and it makes sense, right? Only do logical stuff. Do not ever play a card for no reason and with no thought. Don't be mindless, you know? Just a heads up. Yeah, see, he does the exact same thing. That only makes any sense if he already has that Executor EX in his hand. And even then, it's questionable, because he wants to evolve the Execute in the active, not on the bench. So even if he has that Executor EX, benching that Execute, the second Execute, is a big mistake. Why? Because now he wants to evolve that Execute in the active. But by benching something else, I would now be able to play a Sabrina and force him to have something in the active that he doesn't want to be in the active. He would lose tempo, as he would lose an energy, as he needed to retreat that Execute. Or, if he doesn't lose that energy, then he wastes an X speed, or maybe even a leaf, you know. And it's a waste, and yeah, it's a waste, regardless of the situation. So that is already a big mistake that he made. Right away, then I am in C40. Now, if he would have that Executor on his next turn, it could be trouble, because it could hit heads. And that would be kind of detrimental here. Yeah, of course we evolve. Of course we keep playing Professor's Research instead of the Leaf. Because, yeah, on heads, if he has that Executor EX and he would flip a heads, he would still, even if I switch out, would still KO that Magneton, which I don't want. I mean, it would be better for him to KO that Magneton instead of my Darkrai, but I also have that Magnezone, you know? So, yeah, switching out here, playing the Leaf is not as much value as I will have with that Professor's Research. And yeah, I drew into the Druddigon and I drew into a Sabrina, which I will be safe on the next turn, no matter what, if he doesn't flip that heads or doesn't have that Executor EX, you know. So yeah, that is playing around my odds and doing the most efficient thing possible. Even though to some players it might not seem like that, you know. I would guess and that most players here would play the Leaf instead of the Professor's Research, which wouldn't make any sense, you know. It doesn't matter what dice here, Darkrai or Magneton. It's not that big of a deal. What matters is that since we bricked with our starting hand, we need to be able to draw and thin out our deck. We gotta draw into the cards that we actually need. Second Darkrai, you know, we have that Magnezone. Now we have that Druddigon. Now we have that Sabrina. You know what I mean? Professor's Research here is, if you consider all factors, the correct play. Because, you see, what are the odds of him having that Executor EX? It's actually not very likely, Because, this game just started. His deck is still full of cards, and he only has, he has 4 cards in his hand. Blah, 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 The odds of him having Executor EX and flipping a heads are not so high. So, the leaf is not necessary. Yet. Pokeball just to thin out my deck. Yeah, Pokeball just to thin out my deck, exactly right. Don't put that Magnemite onto your bench, it doesn't make any sense. And this is another thing about game state. Having already the game state in mind and setting up my board in the most efficient way possible, I do not want, as I said many times, I always put a lot of emphasis on that because, I need to hammer this into people's heads. It's very, very, very important to understand that every single card matters a lot. And every single card has to be played to maximum efficiency. And the board state, the game state, has to be kept in mind at all times. What I want on this bench is not a Magnemite. What I want on this bench is a second Darkrai. That's the most optimal. And if I would play that Magnemite, that would be complete not only would it be complete nonsense, useless, and wouldn't do anything for me, no. I would now be gapping myself for future plays. I wouldn't have room to play that Darkrai anymore. I don't have room anymore to play the card that is most efficient for me here, And there are so many reasons not to play that Magnemite, as I just told you. So keep that in mind. Always think about everything before you actually play a card. And that will help you as well to play quicker in the future, as you will get used to these things. And you don't have to think about them anymore, Like I don't have to think about playing this Magnemite or not. I just know it and keep on, That's why. But if you want to become a better player, think about every single thing and always play the cards to maximum efficiency. Know exactly what you have to do. You have to build a strategy around everything, That is part of being a strategy, that you know every single game state, every single thing, every single spot on your board, and knowing what card is the best in slot for every single slot you have at all times, So, see, you can already tell and see how much thought and how much knowledge goes into simply just not playing a fucking Magnemite, That's how important that everything is. Just want to make that clear one more time. Now, let's keep moving on. I actually made a big mistake. I'm saying that here now, big mistake, yada yada, just ignore that. That was not a big mistake. It's not that big of a deal. I even mentioned it. It's not that big of a deal. I could have played the leaf instead of the professor's research. I just talked about it, and it's really like professor's research here is even a better play. So now, this is a point where I would highly recommend my opponent to just surrender, because the fact that he doesn't have that Executor right now, that pretty much means he just lost the game. He will now be too slow to stop me. Of course, what he doesn't know is that I actually have that Magnezone, which makes things much more worse for him. And he doesn't know I have a... I think I will have a second... I don't know. Let's roll the clip. But He is in big trouble here, just from not having his Executor EX. And that's the point. Like, this is a very massive, gigantic flaw in Pokemon TCG Pocket. Like, as a game, the game's design has tons of flaws. I explained that with the mirror matchup. I said everything in my last coaching session about mirror matchups. And this is not a mirror matchup, and you can see that every single deck in this game, every single deck that this game has ever produced relies on one specific singular card so incredibly hard that the game needs more options to let us draw cards and let us search out cards. That is also a topic I have talked a lot about. And I will talk about it time and time again to put emphasis on that. Yes, whatever. Like, the devs won't listen anyways, but still. If you want to become a better player and maybe even compete, you have to be aware of these things and know that you will just lose games for absolutely free and you can't do anything about it. You see, in the case that my opponent, in the scenario that my opponent here is in, it doesn't matter how good he plays. It doesn't matter how flawless he plays. He could be the best player in the world and he would have zero chance of winning this game just because he didn't draw the card that he needs, This Executor EX deck, it depends on Executor EX, having him early. If you don't have him early, you just lose. My Darkrai deck, if I don't have my Darkrai, my deck becomes completely unplayable. Not only that, let's say I get a Darkrai, but I'm getting on turn 3, 4, like the game becomes significantly harder. I most likely will not win the game if I don't immediately have my Darkrai on like turn 2 or 3 is like the latest stuff I can have. And even then, it depends on how good my opponent draws, if I'm be able to even keep up with anything, And this is the case for every single deck. If my opponent doesn't draw the Executor EX, his deck is unplayable. If I don't draw my Darkrai, my deck is unplayable. If a Palkia deck doesn't draw the Palkia, the deck becomes unplayable. If a Charizard doesn't get his Charizard out at a reasonable time, or even just doesn't start with Moltres EX, the deck is unplayable. You know what I mean? Pikachu deck, you don't draw into the Pikachu, deck is unplayable. And that is the case with every single deck in this game. If you play Gyarados, for example, and you just don't have that Gyarados, and you are stuck with that fucking Magikarp, your deck is unplayable. You know what I mean? So the case in this game, in Pokemon TCG Pocket, is that every single deck that ever existed and will ever exist highly depends on draw. And that is an issue, a massive flaw in this game. In fact, it's not just a little bit of an issue or something. Like, it's a big, massive issue that makes this game much worse. To an extent that often, if you break hard, the game is just unplayable, you just lose, right? No matter how good you are as a player. And what makes this so incredibly frustrating is the fact that it is the easiest thing ever that I have ever seen, really, to fix. Just give us more cards that allow us to draw additional cards and give us more options and better options to search out specific cards that we need. Every draw engine that we have is Professor's research. That's about it. That is not enough, and the devs seem to be too blind to realize that. Our search engines with Pokeball and now Pokemon communication, they are random. It doesn't work, even Mythical Slop and stuff. Everything is random. It still depends on RNG. Just give us cards where we can search out exactly what we need, and you know what that would lead to is that we get the cards that we need to actually play the game and not just lose by default to RNG, Even the real TCG, like the physical TCG that Pokemon has tons of that stuff in. For this exact reason, Pokemon TCG Pocket doesn't have it, and that makes the game substantially worse, uncompetitive, and very often you have matches that are just straight up unplayable, you know? And there has to be, I want to put a lot of emphasis on that and talk a lot about that, so that more and more people realize this, and maybe at some point in like 5 years, the developers also realize that and give us cards. The cards that we need to be able to play this game efficiently, you know? But yeah, enough of that. Let's keep moving here. And roll a clip. Yeah, draw another Dragon. We don't bench that. For the same reason that I just explained why we don't bench the Magnemite, same reason here. Yeah, now we don't have any other supporter to play, so why not retreat that Darkrai, you know? Just keep him safe.
See, now
and Dragon is, our Magnezone is not ready yet.
Second Dragon.
Now, see, that is important. I just said we don't play that Dragon, but now that we played Leaf and we retreated our Darkrai, we are susceptible to a Sabrina. We are still susceptible to a Cyrus no matter what, but also Sabrina. And you always have to play around that card. It's very, very important. And having a Darkrai with 60 HP or a Magneton with 80 HP, that is not like the best thing in the world. So you need protection. And Dragon is that bench protection that I just need here in this case to not get fucked up by Sabrina. That's why I benched the Dragon, so I can then switch between my two Dragons and keep my key cards that I want to win the game with Darkrai and Magneton, safe on my bench. Yeah, even if you would evolve now, he could evolve that thing on the bench, but still, I mean, he concedes, and he's totally right to do so. He completely bricked, he got extremely unlucky, and the game is just unplayable for my opponent. Yeah, that's it. Game is unplayable because of RNG. And I just did a little rant about all of that, which is totally reasonable and the factual truth. And that was a perfect showcase of that. So there you go.
Maybe I should
jump right into our next game,
the Magnezone earlier,
which I think will again be a mirror matchup, if I'm not completely mistaken. Let's see. We go second. If we see a Dark Energy, we already won the game. Optimal. This is gonna be a mirror matchup. I bricked completely insanely hard again. You know, no surprise there. But since this is a mirror matchup and I go second, I have still a detrimental game-winning advantage here.
Oh, he doesn't.
And I can pretty confidently say, even though I don't remember, but I will win this game.
Or just
yeah, see? There we go. I now have a Dragon, which is absolutely fantastic. I attach my energy first. My opponent, Ida, he is one of the better players that I faced, which is very, very, very unlikely. Because, he didn't bench anything right away. That's why I'm saying this. If he didn't bench anything on purpose, that speaks like volumes to him. I would give him credit, because that would show that he's actually a really, really fantastically good player, as this is something that, no one, like 99.99% of the players, do not have that knowledge, and they always make this mistake. They bump cards out mindlessly just because they can, and they are just brain dead, you know. I've talked about this as well in the past, so not too long ago actually. But that would speak to him, although that is very, as I said, also said already, very, very unlikely. The odds here that he just doesn't have anything to bench are astronomically high. And that would mean that is just another opponent that, totally bricked. If he doesn't draw his Darkrai right now, then he's already, he lost. Already. Because not only did he go first, no, he doesn't even have his Darkrai ready. Yeah, that is just, you can immediately concede if you run into such a situation. That is impossible to win. 100% impossible to ever win. Even if you're the best player in the world, you will lose here. But let's see if he didn't bench anything on purpose, or if that just means he doesn't have anything to play on his bench. We will find this out right now. If he ends his turn, see,
Oh god.
he didn't bench anything because he's smart. No, absolutely not, as expected. He just doesn't have anything, and right now here he 100% lost the game. There's no coming back from this anymore. Just concede at this point. Don't waste time. You know, it's what are you doing at this point?
Guess we're not the only ones that own the leaf. That is perfect. I don't even need the leaf though.
Yeah, I mean, all of this doesn't matter anymore. What I can talk about is, though, just in case you have Professor's Research and Pokeball, you, in 99% of the cases, always play the Professor's Research first, and then the Pokeball. I won't explain in detail right now why that is, because I did it in the past, my previous videos, so go watch them if you want to know. And you can see, my, again, opponent just completely bricked. The game becomes unplayable for him, and he just loses without having done any misplays. That's the game for you. Another perfect showcase. So I run into the same opponent back to back. Now let's see if he will brick again or whatever happens in this matchup.
You can draw the Mewtwo, take a second, you know?
That actually shows a little bit that the player base is not only decreasing in quality, people become more and more stupid and get worse and worse and worse at this game. No, the player base is actually declining. That is the first time ever that it happened to me that I run into the same opponent back to back. Yeah, and what that shows is there are just not many people queuing up, so I get the same person again and again and again. So yeah, that makes total sense to me, and I can just hope for the game that the developers will wake up at some point in the near future. So perfect start. Druddigon, we do not have our Darkrai yet, which is a huge bummer.
It is the same guy.
We go second. That would be really, really, really good if we would have the Darkrai. That would already mean we won. If we get the Darkrai on our turn, we won this game.
This time
he will have something on his bench. And see, he's a complete idiot, as expected again, and he just bumps out his shit mindlessly, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. But he does it because he can, and it speaks volumes about how good this player is. Or I should say how terribly bad this player is. Because that is just never something you will ever do.
Just like he did last time.
And there's another one.
We will find it.
It's funny at this point. Stupid the people are. Holy. Wow. Yeah, see here? Perfect showcase. Wow, man, these games, crushing it. He played the Pokeball before the professor's research. Another tremendously huge mistakes. He is not at all playing to his odds. He probably doesn't even know what odds are at this point. Yeah, see, he makes in just one turn. He makes mistake after mistake after mistake, like back to back. 3 mistakes, back to back to back to back. It's absolutely insane. Four mistakes. Playing Darkrai, mistake. Playing Magnemite, mistake. Playing the Pokeball, mistake. Because he played a professor's research after the Pokeball. 4 cards. He played 4 cards in this turn, and every single one of these cards is a misplay. Like, imagine that. And that is the very first turn of this match. Nothing happened yet, and he already made 4 mistakes. It is incredible. See, this is why I make these coaching sessions. Really. Like, what else can I do when I watch this? This is incredible. Like, holy. When I just look at this game and how simple and dumbed down this is, you know? There's no deep mechanics, nothing. And I would never think, it would never even cross my mind to think that such an insane amount of really brain rot mistakes can happen, especially not back to back to back, like in his first turn. Like, actually mind blowing, you know? And this is why people need desperate help. Like, desperate help. And that's why we're here, honestly. This is the perfect showcase. It doesn't get any better than this, honestly. But that's why we are here, and that's why we keep going. Yeah, I have to somehow find a Darkrai. And there he is. Now I won. I already won this match 100%. I cannot lose anymore. Right here. Because, again, mirror matchup. Going second. Win game. That's how it goes. It's just really as simple as that. And on top of that, my opponent already, it's clear he doesn't know how to play this game. Every single card he played was a mistake. Except for the Dragon, but still. The other 4 cards he played, mistake. Yeah, now we are in the situation that, yeah, it will always happen in a mirror matchup. I just have a tremendously high tempo advantage. Just because I did go second. Like, that is as simple as it is. There's no coming back for him. Whoa, what did I just witness here? I played the Sabrina. Oh, okay, I totally missed that. Sorry, I played the Sabrina. He is still. He gives me his Darkrai. He lets his key card eat damage completely for free, for no reason. He should have given me that Magnemite, 100%. Like, you see, wow, it's mind-blowing. Like, the most simple things in a dumbed-down kids game, the very basics, and people do not grasp that at all, not even close, you know? Wow, what a showcase here. I didn't remember, I didn't know it would be this perfect. Crazy shit. Damn. Now his Darkrai is in danger to actually die because I can pull him in with Cyrus whenever I want to. As I know, this deck list doesn't play a potion. He just saw this deck list, copied it, and now plays it, and he has no fucking clue what he is doing here at all. Which is phenomenal. Wow, I'm actually a little bit mind blown. Never mind, he plays the wrong deck list. This deck doesn't play Rocky Helmet. There's no reason to play Rocky Helmet. So even his deck building is dog shit. I mean, at least he's consistent and he keeps delivering some horseshit to us. I mean, wow, damn. That is perfect content, you know? This is like made as a showcase for not how to play this game. How to not play this game. It's a perfect showcase. It really doesn't get any better.
Yeah, I'm looking for a Magneton.
Yeah, as I see, like, every card makes sense. I play the Pokeball, I find a Magnemite. I don't need a Magnemite, I already have one. Now I play Pokemon Communication, get rid of that Magnemite that I don't need, it's a dead card for me, to search out that Magneton. Unfortunately, it gave me a Magnezone, you know? Not a big deal, but that's it's like easy reasoning behind all the cards that I play here. No question. And yeah, see, now that he gave me the Darkrai in the active, and he doubled down on his dumb mistake by not retreating that Darkrai. He should have retreated that. He has the necessary energy, and that's what he absolutely needed to do. Since he didn't do that, I can now keep the pressure on this Darkrai like crazy, you know? And I have to do that. That's his key card. If I knock this shit out, the game is even more over than it already is. And I get a free ability. Now I get a free ability again on him. And I can attack. Like, this is I cannot not use this opportunity. It's such an opportunity to completely shit on him. And I will do just exactly that. This Darkrai will be left on 20 HP. It's bound to die. This is free 2 points for me here.
We will negate that Rocky Helmet.
Yeah, I will use the Giant Cape to not eat the 20 damage, right? To just negate the Rocky Helmet. If he wouldn't have that Rocky Helmet on, I think I wouldn't have played my Giant Cape right away. But yeah, that Rocky Helmet kind of forces me to. Just to be safe, you know.
Yeah, he has to retreat, by the way.
Because he has to retreat. He had to retreat, even a turn before that.
He's not a
He just had to retreat. There's no way around it.
So yeah, he wants me to attack. Then I'm at 100.
Exactly. He wants me to retreat because, I mean, yeah, he doesn't have that necessary energy on the Darkrai to kill me right then and there. But he wants to get me low enough so that he can kill me in 2 turns. You know, and I would of course not give him that opportunity. Right here, attacking that Druddigon would be a big, huge mistake, and I realized that. Why? Because I would put myself into the Darkrai range, and even though his Darkrai is not set up yet, he wouldn't be able to kill me next turn. Still, I would put myself in a vulnerable position for no reason. And I would never do that, you know. Always play it safe. I have already won this game by going second. And he made a shitload of mistakes that I can't lose unless I do stupid mistakes like attacking here and giving my opponent an opening. Even if that opening is a little bit delayed. It's delayed by 1 turn because the Darkrai is not set up. But still, no reason for me to do that. Why would I do that? There's no reason, so I don't do it. You know, easy as that. That is, again, adapting to what's happened, adapting to the Rocky Helmets, adapting to the fact that he gave me the Darkrai, adapting to that he let that Darkrai up in the active. And now again, there's a Druddigon with Rocky Helmet. I would put myself in a bad position, in a vulnerable position, in a position that would give my opponent a possible opening. And I don't want to do that because it doesn't make any sense, you know. So I realize that, and I don't do that. And that is what you also have to learn. This is a situation here that is not like completely easy to read. But yeah, we will get there. You see, you should take away a lot here and already learn a lot. Just by me showcasing these situations and talking about them and why everything is why it is, right? Would highly recommend you, even if that sounds a little bit full of myself, to take notes here. You really, this is the perfect showcase. You can learn a lot. So, yeah, please keep that in mind.
Dark Ray attack, I die. That's what he was going for here, but I will not do
Yeah, I explained that to my viewers, of course, exactly what is happening here.
I
Not in that detail that I do here on this YouTube video, but I still tell them. So, again, now, adapting to the situation. I used the professor's research. Of course, there's no reason not to, right? It draws me 2 cards, gives me new options. And he gave me that Darkrai EX, my second one. Now, that changes everything. And yeah, I will go into a little bit more detail as to why me drawing this Darkrai EX here gives me new opportunities and changes the entire situation, okay? But for now, let's keep watching a little bit.
But I can.
This is of course my best in slot card.
So if I kill,
I have that is the perfect bench. That is actually the perfect board that I can have. That's also something you should always know. You have 4 slots on the board, and what would be the best case scenario for you to fill all of these slots? For me, that is 2 Darkrai, a Magneton, and a Druddigon. And I have exactly that right here. So yeah, no matter what deck you play, always figure out and think about what the best in slots cards are. What would be the best board that you can build? That is very important to know. So yeah, you aim to build that, right? Even if it won't happen too often, it's still good knowledge to have.
He has to put his Darkrai in the active to do something, but my Darkrai on the bench would
Exactly. Yeah, I explained it already.
kill it.
See, let me explain that again. So, the reason why drawing this Darkrai changes everything. Because now, see, I can bench it, I can attach an energy to it, deal the 20 damage. That I could do anyways with my active Darkrai, but what this Darkrai on my bench leads me to do is I can now sacrifice my Darkrai in the active and still win the game, guaranteed. Why? Because I can now attack this Druddigon without worrying about my Darkrai EX dying in return. Because what could deal damage here to me? That's only the enemy Darkrai, and he would have to put the Darkrai in the active, to do something to my Darkrai. But he can't, because even if his Darkrai would KO my Darkrai, then his Darkrai is only on 20 HP, and I have a second Darkrai which just kills it with its ability, I could also kill this Darkrai with my Magnezone. But he doesn't know I have Magnezone. But he will know I have my Darkrai. And that changes. Like let's watch.
With its ability, and even if not, my Magnezone is also ready to attack.
Yeah, see?
That's why I will actually go for the attack.
Exactly.
Even though that's exactly what he wants me.
Yeah, see, I know. Yeah, this is exactly correct. I know my opponent wants me to attack his Druddigon. Of course he wants that, so my Darkrai eats damage and is in KO range. So I would never ever attack here, right? But my Darkrai on the bench now, that enables me to attack with my Darkrai. For I just explained why that is, and that is again, that is not strategy, because you will never know what happened, right? You just have to have a game plan and know every single card. Yada yada. We already established what strategy is, and we talked about pretty much every single card I play. So, and even about the cards that my enemies play. So that is all is part of strategy and knowledge, and But this right here is a tactic, because I adapt to what is happening, to what my opponent wants me to do. I adapt to that by, for example, by not attacking, or by the mistake. I use the mistakes that my opponent makes to my advantage. That's also part of a tactic, adapting to what your enemy does and to the game state, to the board state. Right here, this is a very, very good showcase of a tactic, which also is not too simple to understand, That's why I'm talking about this here a lot. As that is perfect adaptation to the card that I draw, understanding exactly what option that gives me, and what new opportunities arise thanks to just drawing this singular card. That is also something you have to learn, that you have to always think about. Oh, I got another Darkrai. Is there anything that I can do with this Darkrai? Is there anything that changes now, Just as I did here. I would have never attacked, now I can attack. And the reasons you already know. Because now I'm able to KO the Darkrai that would his Darkrai that would KO my Darkrai. It's not set up and blah blah blah, but you get the point here. Try to understand this as best as possible, and you will learn a lot for your own games. Let's keep rolling the clip. I will KO his Stradigon.
But his Darkrai is in huge danger to die. He will actually
I go over that.
If he puts it into the active. That's why I attack.
I will now eat 40 damage. His Darkrai could KO me with his 80 damage if he would be fully set up, which he isn't even. He isn't even, but still. Even if he would, I could simply KO this Darkrai with my other Darkrai's ability.
Because I just drew that Darkrai.
I could also do that with the Magnezone, of course, but it is still a safer bet to do it with Darkrai, obviously.
Never.
Also here,
he puts the energy.
Also here, that is also a very, very key thing. Because you see, when we go back, when I KO his Dradigon, that is in the active. Wait, let's actually go back. Here. I KO'd his Dradigon, right? Is this the situation?
To the game state.
This is where I get 1 point. I KO'd his Dradigon. And now, you see his bench. None of these Pokemon make any sense whatsoever to put in the active. So what is the best choice here? You're right or wrong, whatever you said, it's Magnemite. Why? Because Magnemite has only 1 retreat cost. You could also do it with Darkrai, as he has already 1 energy attached. And you will attach another energy to Darkrai anyways. And that would allow you to use his ability even. So Darkrai is here in this specific case. Darkrai is actually the best choice to put in the active. But in general, it's Magnemite, because you can draw into something that has more. You have a second Darkrai in your deck. You can draw into that and then put something in the active with 140 HP, as this Magnemite only has one retreat cost, and you would be able to retreat that, with an energy attachment. So that would make the most sense. Either his Darkrai or his Magnemite. But what he makes is the worst possible decision in that situation. And yeah, detrimental. Like another showcase of how shitty this player is. I don't want to blame him or something, but if it's true, it's true, and it has to be said. So, give me either Darkrai or Magnemite, then retreat those for
if I would have drawn
exactly this Darkrai. This Darkrai could be in his active, and he would at least have an HP pool, and he would at least buy him one more turn. Doesn't realize that, doesn't do that. He gives me the worst possible option
the energy on the
with his Dragon. Yeah, and he concedes. Yeah, and see, absolutely no surprise. This is, this is just a perfect showcase as to how to not play the game and think about every single thing you do. Easy.
Concede, okay. Wow.
He did pretty much really everything wrong. There were so many mistakes, like I can't even count that. This is impossible. He did more mistakes than he played turns. Crazy fucking shit. Yeah, now let's move on to the next match. So, we see here, this is a metal type deck. And what does that mean, right? What is a metal type deck? Now that's something very, very interesting, because there is no viable metal type deck. Dialga, unplayable garbage. You could play, if you play Dialga, you play it with Bastiodon, which then you are forced to play Fossils, and that is a stage 2. Which is very, very slow. And your Dialga is also very, very slow, because in order for you to actually accelerate the energy to the bench, you need 2 energy to do that. So no matter what, he will be very, very slow. So that is nothing to worry about. What is a metal type card that sees play? That is something to worry about. And the answer here is, again, you need that knowledge. And you will have that knowledge if you watch my videos. I talked about this and showcased this deck. But anyways, it is Skarmory. That is the only card you have to worry about. That thing can deal 50 damage on turn 1. That is pretty massive. Because, you know what Skarmory does, of course. So that is something to worry about. What can I do to minimize the issue, to take a little bit care of this? And the answer is, I start off the game with Magnemite. Why? Skarmory has a lightning weakness, so I can hit him for not 10 damage, but for 30 damage, thanks to the weakness. It's pretty good. It's like the best start I can have. This is better than Dragon, because he would 2-shot my Dragon. That would not be, that is not something that I would ever want. But Magnemite deals 30 damage for just 1 energy, and it even survives an attack from that Skarmory, So I make use of his weakness, and I will, in total, deal 60 damage to him as I survive one of his attacks. That allows me to attack him twice, and that would put him on 20 HP. What does that mean? I can just knock him out with my Darkrai without even using an attack, but just my Darkrai ability. See, this is again a whole lot of information, a whole lot of knowledge, and using all my knowledge and adapting to the situation absolutely perfectly here. Okay, so let's roll the clip and see what happens. I even have that Magnemite in my hand, so that is awesome. Will I actually start off this match with the Magnemite?
If I'm not completely stupid.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I'm not 100% sure here if Skarmory actually has a lightning weakness,
That's why.
But I'm pretty certain, and that's why I start with the Magnemite. Maybe Skarmory could have like weakness to fire or something. I didn't want to drop the ball, But yeah, Skarmory actually has a lightning weakness, as we will say later. So now I'm extremely confused here. Like, I already don't understand what the hell is going on right here. Because first of all, this expecting any Magnemite is impossible. Like, a metal deck does not play Magnezone. There's no way. That is a stupid call. That is bad deck building. But to top that off, he plays the wrong Magnemite. You see? I play the correct Magnemite. He plays the wrong Magnemite. Why? He plays Metal Energy. This Magnemite will always be completely useless. It will never do anything whatsoever. He doesn't have the energy for this, And that is just, again, really, really stupid and a big mistake to even have that in your deck. Even if you play the Magnezone, which is already wrong. But this Magnemite is unplayable for him. It won't ever do anything. While my Magnemite needs a colorless. I can attack with that Magnemite. And yeah, now you might say, oh, Strawhead, that does 10 damage, as if that would be a big deal. No, you are completely dumb if you think that. Because weakness, as I just talked about, is a thing. And I can attack with my Magnemite to abuse the enemy's weakness, which is very, very important. Like, Manaphy and stuff exists, So it is key to play this Magnemite for me. I don't know what. You see, I'm confused and at least me speechless to play this Magnemite, as he will never ever do anything with it. Never, It will always be 100% useless. It really blows my mind to see something like that. This is a Magnemite that is better, but only if you play lightning energy, of course, Like, wow. It's insane. But yeah, let's keep watching and see what else happens.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, here I'm considering what to play first, Pokeball or Professor's Research. I have the Magnemite and I have the Darkrai. So playing Pokeball first wouldn't be like a bad decision, because I already have the basics that I want. So thinning out my deck with Pokeball to give me better odds for the Professor's Research to draw me better cards, Yeah, in this case, it's not too much of a big deal, because I like thinking about it, I would still play the Professor's Research first, because yeah, that gives me higher odds of my Pokeball giving me the Druddigon, and I would like to have Druddigon here, even though Druddigon is not awesome here in this matchup because of the Skarmory, But yeah, this is just to put emphasis on to thinking about every single card you play. Never play mindlessly. That's why I'm thinking about this right here. Let's see what I actually end up doing. Yeah. See, I still play the Professor's Research first. The point here is to think about it.
Dragon? Oh.
Yeah, I wanted that Dragon. Yeah. It makes perfect sense, but yeah, in this matchup, it's not too much of a big deal. I would still love to have it though, of course. As he didn't start with the Skarmory.
So that if he Saburinas, he can't.
Ah, yeah, that's another thing. See? That's what thinking does. If he Sabrinas me, a Dragon would come in very handy. And by the way, on my first turn, I should have not benched that Darkrai. Didn't know what happened here. I should have not benched that Darkrai. Because of the fucking Sabrina. Now I had to play a second Magnemite on my bench just to protect myself, my Darkrai from that Sabrina. If I wouldn't have played that Darkrai, I wouldn't need to do that, you know. Now my board is already a little bit scuffed. That in some games it could be detrimental, you know, just saying. But you see, I also make mistakes sometimes. Yeah, because my opponents confuse me with this. See, with this. What is this? Yeah, and then sometimes mistakes happen as just.
That needs lightning type energy.
This is just complete confusion.
That's crazy. Yeah, that was.
And then there's the Skarmory.
He has a lightning type weakness, indeed.
I'm really confused here for all the good reasons, of course.
If he doesn't evolve, what? I'm so confused. Like he doesn't evolve, but he still.
Yeah, I will now just attach an energy to Darkrai, and that's pretty much all. That's pretty much it, right? What else could I do? Yeah, now what will happen? I can already spoil it. I mean, just reading the game, you know. I don't know if that will actually happen. I totally forgot about this game at all. But so, what should happen here is he will now retreat this Magnemite, put his Skarmory into the active, attach an energy to the Skarmory, and give him a Pokemon tool. He will then deal 50 damage to my Magnemite. My Magnemite will survive. Why is that extremely clutch? Because that saves me a turn. My Magnemite is now on 10 HP. That leaves me to be able to attach a second energy to Darkrai, which then has 2 energy. And then I just skip my turn again, and my opponent will knock out my Magnemite. So, what that leads to is, I will now have a fully set up Darkrai to one-shot everything he has. Skarmory has 80 HP, minus 20, of course, because he will already have damage on it by my Darkrai ability. And even if he evolves that Magnemite, Magneton also has 80 HP, which I also one-shot. Plus, both of his Pokemon will have damage counters on them. And I have a Cyrus in my hand, so I can freely choose whatever to knock out from him, whatever I want. So I can already tell you with 100% certainty, I won this game already right here. Let's see what actually goes down. And yeah, what I just did, of course, is thinking ahead, and you should also, of course, do that and predict your enemy's next moves, you know. Think about what your opponent will do, what would be his best options, what shouldn't he do, you know. That will always help you to look into your opponent's head and predict stuff a little bit better as to if you would not think about that, you know. That is also very, very, very important. And then when the opponent doesn't do what you predict, then yeah, that's what it is. But have your mind on what your opponent does, right? Always think. Use your brain. Even on the enemy's turn, think about what you will do, think about what the enemy will do, try to predict things, play around things. You can only play really around things if you have everything in mind, you know? So, point is, always use your brain. Never sleep, you know? Never get lazy, and always have your brain working and focused on the game.
Oh, he did it so he can play the retreat.
See, I do that, yeah. See, I try to understand, what is my opponent doing here? Why did he do this? What is he going next? You know, this is very, very important to do, of course. Even in a game state, in a matchup that I know I already won.
At least
still keep thinking. To not do anything fucking stupid and lose because you're too dumb, you know? Think, use your brain and
it's really weird. Oh, I have a Sabrina now.
Use all the knowledge that you have to your advantage at all times.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy to play, honestly. Sacrifice that Magnemite and then
and that is very, very important, you know? Even before the game even starts. You already see that I always can talk about a lot just by seeing how the coin flip did go at the start of the match. And by looking at the enemy, what the enemy plays as an energy. There's so much already. There's so much knowledge already gained. And you have to use that knowledge to your advantage, you know? That's why I started with a Magnemite here. That is a massive play if my opponent wouldn't be a troll, you know? Yeah. Please, use your brain, guys. Everyone, use your brain. Always and at all times. Please. If you don't have the knowledge, you don't know how to gain the knowledge, watch my channel, join my Discord server, and talk to me, you know? I can help and I will help. So, do that. If you want to talk to me live, go join my stream. I stream on twitch.tv every single day for at least 8 hours. I do not always play Pokemon TCG Pocket. I play Unite and I'm currently on a Final Fantasy Rebirth run and all that jazz, you know. But you can always come in regardless to talk to me and ask me anything you want, or just talk to me about everything you want, you know. You never have to sit there and lack knowledge. That is not a thing you have to do anymore if you are aware of my channel. So there you go. Yeah, there's just nothing my opponent can do. No matter what he does, he cannot do anything. Like the best, you see, and if you're in this situation, then even if things are looking rough, always think about what is like your best thing that you can do in this situation. Even though if it's like desperate, you know, still play to your best options. And my opponent's best option here is just to buy as much time with these Skarmories that he can to set up his Magnezone. Wait until he draws that Magnezone and try to do something with the Magnezone, you know. So how does my opponent accomplish that? What gives him the highest chance of accomplishing that? That is to try to figure it out yourself. It is not attacking my Magnemite, so that I have to at least invest something, be it a leaf, be it an energy, be it anything, to retreat that, you know. If my opponent would have half a brain cell, he would realize that right now, and not attack my Magnemite. Yeah, the odds are here of him not attacking my Magnemite are 0, I can already tell. That is something everyone does wrong, you know. It's just greed, it's just whatever it might be. I can't even put my finger to what the thought process is. There is no thought process, right? This is just mindless, whatever. Think about what's the best. And for my opponent, it is the Magnezone. By time, do not attack my Magnemite, but you will see he will attack my Magnemite. I don't know, but I'm 100% sure. But yeah, that would be it. For him. I don't say he would win the game if he would do that, because that's impossible at this point, but if he doesn't concede, then he has to play it as best as he can. Best as he possibly can, you know? And he doesn't do that. If he would play it, if he would think about it and play it to the best of, like, play the best game he could, then I would understand him not conceding, because that's a kind of a form of practice. But if he still is like doing completely random dumb shit, then like, why waste my time here and not just concede? Like, out of words. See, yeah, he attacks my Magnemite, of course. Everyone would do that, and it's a big mistake.
Yeah, damage this Skarmory with my ability.
So, see?
Magneton and attack.
I could now just don't give a fuck anymore. And I could just KO that Skarmory, cause why the hell not? You know, no. That is brain dead, that is stupid, that is mindless. I'm pretty sure I do, actually. If I wouldn't do it, that would be a little bit embarrassing right now. But yeah, what I should do here is Cyrus that Magneton into the active and KO that Magneton right now first. Because I'm aware that this is my opponent's only chance to do anything here. And I can KO it right now for free. So I will do that. And not see this win as granted, you know? Not take it easy. Don't become sloppy. Just because I know I already won. No. Still play to perfection. Every time, with every move, with every energy, with every card. Always play to perfection. Because if you don't, the scenario will occur that you run into a really stupid loss just because you got sloppy, and you don't want that. Yeah, at least here he surrenders. Yeah, that was a huge coaching session, and I will be back with those coaching sessions as soon as the new mini set releases at the end of this month. Maybe I will slide in 1 or 2 more, I'm not too sure, but for now the plan is to take a break from these. Because, yeah, things will change a little bit with new decks and stuff. You know, we will go into that when the set releases. But, yeah, and for now, that's it. Watch this, take it easy, think about everything. You have enough time now to let everything sink in and understand everything that I said. So, yeah, you can do that and practice a lot, play this game a lot, and you will become a better player. We will continue our sessions after the mini set releases. Don't forget to leave a follow on my channel, I would really appreciate it. But until next time, take care of yourselves, have a great day, and bye bye.